When your time comes, don't postpone it. When others down and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. Never let go, stand tall and hold tight. Overcoming obstacles is the objective in life. Doubters all the night, and unto them you shine bright. Cause inside your head, on goes the light. Ignite.
What's up, Burns fam, and welcome back. I know it's been a while, and I do apologize. We wanted to really sit down and go over what our plan was for where this vlog was headed. It got very stressful, editing every day, and then we felt that we were veering more and more away from the reason behind why we wanted to do this, which is recovery. And we wanted to not only log our recovery in hopes of being able to help somebody else, but we also wanted to try to help along the way, try to improve ourselves, try to use it not only as an accountability measure, but as a learning, like as a tool in itself. And so we've decided to take it to what we talked about in the last video, but just in case you missed it, Men's Monday is going to be Monday's vlog, which will come out Tuesday morning, and then Women's Wednesday will be Wednesday's vlog, and that'll come out Thursday morning, and then Family Friday will come out Saturday morning. So when Brittany will be hosting Wednesdays, I'm your host for Mondays, and then Friday we'll come together, and we're still going to do some family vlogging throughout the week and on Friday and stuff like that, and then we'll sit down together on Friday and talk together. But I wanted to start the first Men's Monday. Actually, it's going to be a two-part series. So tonight and next week is going to be about getting to know me. We're going to start with my childhood, and this week we're going to cover from my childhood to my teens, and then next week we'll go from my teens to present. I think it's a long story, so I'm not going to bore you with all of it at once. But so we're going to dive right into that, and we're going to get to know me a little bit. And now this is the first time that this is all came out at one time, so it may be kind of chopped up and edited through, but I try to get to the points as quick as possible. So let's start with my parents. My parents, my mother and my father, both were out of my life when I was very young. My dad died right before I turned 3, and my mother kind of just left before he passed away. It was labeled a suicide. So he was, that was always something that was in the back of my mind. We always thought that it wasn't a suicide because he was shot in the stomach with a rifle. So I was just kind of like, that's weird. But anyways, so he was out of the picture young. My grandparents took me in to raise me, and this was my father's mother and dad, my father's mom and dad. So my grandmother was very attached to me because I look a lot like my dad, and she had just lost her son. So they ended up raising me. My mom never really came back around. She did her own thing for a long time, and then when 12 days before I turned 16, she passed of AIDS. She died of HIV. So, which I don't have HIV. I've been tested often. But anyways, back to the story. Growing up in my house with my grandparents, I was kind of out of place. My dad was a wild person. He was a drinker and stuff like that, and so was my mom. And my grandmother and my grandfather were both like police officers. Never drank, never had taken any kind of drugs. I'd never smoked pot, nothing. My grandma smoked cigarettes. My grandpa smoked a pipe and some filterless cigarettes way back in the day, but he just like up and quit. Doctor told him you need to quit. He laid him down, never touched him again. So that was a man. That's some willpower right there. I wish I had that. But they never no problems. But they were very lenient on me. They felt, I don't know if they had pity for me. I'm not going to speak for them. They did a great job raising me. A great job. They taught me right from wrong. They gave me a great work ethic. They gave me any and everything that they could possibly afford. They did everything for me. But there wasn't a lot of discipline. I basically could have got away with murder. Very young, I understood that I could manipulate my way into anything that I wanted. If it was affordable, And I feel like that without the discipline there, I was just kind of like let run wild. So I just did whatever I wanted to do. So, I started smoking cigarettes when I was 11. I started, smoking pot and drinking when I was like 11. And after that, it just kind of spiraled downhill, because anything that I found that made me feel good, I just wanted to take it, because like I didn't think about nothing else, I always tried to say that it didn't bother me, the stuff that happened with my parents, but it was really an underlying issue, and I really took that shit to heart sometimes too. Like, you couldn't talk about my dad. You say something, anybody that knew me knew that all they had to do was be like, your dad was a pussy. We're fighting. Fighting. You could be like, your mom was a bitch. I'd be like, you know my mom? Wow. That's horrible. I shouldn't have been like that towards either one of them, but still. It was a big problem for me. And it was a chip that I carried on my shoulder for a long time. And so this is when the drug use started. And after this, I went and I seen counselors. Because, I was just like, I was a fit pitcher. If I didn't get my way, I'd flip the frig out. From the time I was a little kid, throwing bats and stuff, poor Terry Jones used to put up with some horrible stuff on him and Derek. They put up with some crazy stuff as my baseball coaches, because they had patience with me, and I would pitch these little fits and I didn't get in my way. And it's, I look back at it now and all I can do is laugh. It's embarrassing as crap, but, I was just full of anger, rage, and had all these underlying emotions that I just had no clue how to handle. So every time that I smoked a whole bunch of weed or drank these 2 or 3 beers, it was Mad Dog 2020. There wasn't no 2 or 3 beers back then in Murphy, but whatever I could do to make me feel better, then all of a sudden I would mellow out, and I wouldn't be so high strung and just mad about everything. And so then after that, I got hurt playing football, and I got given a prescription of oxycodone. I'm like 12 years old, they're giving me oxys. No, it was like Percocets, but still it's oxycodone. And a Percocet 10 is way too much for a kid. So by the time I'm in my teens, they've stepped me up to 10s, and, just straight oxycodone 10s, because I figured out that I could tell them that they upset my stomach, and they would just give me the ones without Tylenol, and I could snort those. So then this is when like the array of drugs happened in my life. Any and everything, like I said before, I was at the younger age, anything that I could find, I would do, which was usually like pot or, maybe some liquor. Every once in a while, somebody might have like a shroom or two or something. But then as I got older, it was cocaine, and I never did heroin till like way later, right before we got clean. I tried some, and thank God it wasn't good or something. But meth, cocaine, hallucinogens, it was crazy, the things that I would do. I would steal. I would take stuff that wasn't mine, and I wasn't raised that way. Like, I wasn't that person. I was that person, but I wasn't meant to be that person. I was raised better than that. This is the time in my life where I started, like through these years from 12 to 17, started seeing some doctors, some therapists. And there was a lot of different diagnoses, however you say that. Bipolar was the first one. They said that I had bipolar disorder. So they tried to put me on this medicine. And I'd take it for a couple of days, and I'd just feel like a zombie, so I just stopped taking it. And then my grandma would get mad and make me go back to the doctor. And so then it was manic depressive with IED. And I think that this one is the closest thing that, like, for real, this is like the IED thing, intermittent explosive disorder. Like, if you actually look that up, it says involves repeated sudden episodes of impulse, aggressive, violent behavior, or angry verbal outbursts in which you react grossly out of proportion to the situation. That pretty much sums up my youth. IED. Because I literally would just make a mountain out of a molehill. After that, I went to a rehab in my late teens, and they told me that I had PTSD. They're like, oh, the stuff with your parents scarred you when you were younger, and you've just been trying to cover it up your whole life. So to this day, I still don't think that I have a diagnosis that I trust. I do believe the IED part. Unfortunately, it's not funny at all, but I mean, I believe that part. Basically, by my teens, I'd already tried every drug that there was on the market, except heroin. And there was some of the wilder stuff, but I mean, I had tried PCP, this crazy stuff called 2CB, and the guy said, don't snort it. And the first thing I did was snort it, and it was horrible. It felt like my face was leaking I was hallucinating. It felt like my face was leaking for like days. And I'd rub my face raw trying to wipe tears that weren't there. But, okay, so up until this point, it was just, wild and crazy. Like my curfew was non-existent. I didn't have to really go home. If I did have to go home, I just wouldn't show up for 2 or 3 days, and then my grandma just wouldn't say nothing because she wanted me to at least come home. And I want to clear it up. I'm not blaming anything on my grandparents. They are wonderful people, and they did a wonderful job raising me because I knew right from wrong. I chose wrong. And just because we choose wrong does not mean that you can't stop choosing wrong and start choosing right, because that is very possible. And I feel like that I'm proof that is possible. Only through Jesus is the reason that I'm possible to be sitting here right now, sober in front of you. But anyways, so that basically brought us up to the point where my first kid was born, which was Jonathan. My 16-year-old that y'all see. That little man has been through, I can't little no more, but that dude has been through some stuff. Because when he was born, my grandparents raised him for the first 6-7 years of his life. Because he was born, I was 16. His mom was in her 20s, early 20s, like 2021. And, she did her thing and I did mine. And I should have been there for him so much more, because now that I see Ramsey and I'm like there with Ramsey growing up, I feel like I just missed so much, but I did miss a lot. That's another conversation too in itself. But we, at this point, I was going buck wild because, let's call it 16, when he was born, for the first year of his life, I wasn't really allowed to see him because me and his mother weren't on the best of terms. So I went buck wild. Any and everything I could do. I was dealing cocaine. I was doing, just anything that I could do to stay high myself. I basically didn't go to school. Don't know how I graduated. Actually, the only reason I graduated was because of Miss Davis, who just passed. God rest her soul. She was an awesome, awesome lady. Awesome lady. And she used to make me come into her classroom and read a book because she caught one of my friends taking my AR test for me. So we had to read books and take a test on the computer about them. And my friend would go up and sit at one of the computers, and I would sit at the one beside her, and she would just read my questions and tell me the answers, and I would just type them in. I'd never read the books. And she caught me and caught her. And so I had to come into her classroom and read in order to get my points to graduate. During school, though, I would come for half a day and I would leave, and then I would be gone. I would go to Atlanta and back 2 or 3 times in a day, be out all night, every night. My grandma used to tell me all the time, you're burning the candle at both ends, son, and eventually it's going to burn out. And Lord, if I would have just listened. But anyways, so yeah, we're up to the teens now. We're like 15 minutes in, so I want to stop there for tonight, and we will pick back up the teens and get into some of the crazier parts next week, and also how me and Brittany met and how we got sober. So they'll all be crammed in the next week, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. As always, if you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let us know. Leave a comment. We'd love to pray for you. And please, if you watch, pray for us. If you pray, pray for us. Just throw up a prayer for us while you're there. We do appreciate it. So until next time, stay strong, stay smart, and stay sober. See you on the next Men's Monday.
Now is my time to shine. When your time comes, don't postpone it. When others doubt and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. Never let go, stand tall and hold tight. Overcoming obstacles is the objective in life. Doubters all the night, and unto them you shine bright. Cause inside your head, on goes the light. Ignite. Play the intuition upon the stars in the night that glisten. To you they listen, to be you instead of wishing. When your time comes, don't postpone it. When others doubt and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. When your time comes, don't postpone it. When others doubt and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. Never let go, stand tall and hold tight. Overcoming obstacles is the objective in life. Never let go, stand tall and hold tight. Overcoming obstacles is the objective in life. Doubters all the night, and unto them you shine bright. Cause inside your head, on goes the light. Doubters all the night, and unto them you shine bright. Cause inside your head, on goes the light. Doubters all the night, and unto them you shine bright. Cause inside your head, on goes the light. Ignite. Play the intuition upon the stars in the night that glisten. To you they listen, to be you instead of wishing. Ignite. Play the intuition upon the stars in the night that glisten. To you they listen, to be you instead of wishing. Ignite. Play the intuition upon the stars in the night that glisten. To you they listen, to be you instead of wishing. When your time comes, don't postpone it. When others doubt and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. Never let go, stand tall and hold tight. Overcoming obstacles is the objective in life. Doubters all the night, and unto them you shine bright. Cause inside your head, on goes the light. Ignite. Play the intuition upon the stars in the night that glisten. To you they listen, to be you instead of wishing. Listen, do your own math and learn from the stuff that you are missing. Create your own path with your own vision.